All right, it's AU story time. So of course, I put out a poll and it's always 50-50. I feel like just it's just what always happens. And so between doing a story in the temple and then Yivy, who is Cyril's sister in The Curse of Broken Shadows, is like, I'm working on the second book. And here's where this all came about. I wanted Cyril's sister to kind of make an appearance, and I had this idea for her. She's just kind of this, she's a character. She is very animated, and she's very sure of herself. She's confident, and she's absolutely adorable. Well, she started to take the show, she started to steal the page whenever she was present in a scene. And I realized, like, I had a little bit more planned for her in this series, and I realized that she kind of took off on her own. And so she kind of became this larger than life character that needed to not be a side character, essentially. And so I decided that she was going to have to kind of be limited in what she could do and how she showed up in this book. But for this AU, between trying to do a temple story and a Yivy story, I thought, well, hey, I want to do Yivy's story anyway, and so why don't I do the best of both worlds? And so I'm going to start her book and just kind of get this sort of layout and set the tone for what I hope will one day be her book. She will have her own. I don't know if it will turn into more. I've not really planned all that much. I just know that she ended up being so incredible in book 2 that I'm writing that I actually had to limit her presence, because she's not a side character. She might be introduced here, but she deserves her own story. And so I figured with this AU, with everybody wanting to do a temple story but also learn a little bit more about Yivy, I thought that I would combine the two and sort of do her experience in the temple. And I think it will be a lot of fun, because I think that I could actually potentially, so I've been thinking about this for a few days now, since the poll kind of ended. I'm thinking I might be able to incorporate this into her story. I don't know if it will be, I have this idea for the first line in her story. I'm not sure if it will work out in the end, right? So once you get through all the drafts, but I do have this idea of how I want to start her story and start her book. And so we are going to work on that. That is going to be the AU story this month, and I'm really excited. So let's get going.